and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about this new Arizona Supreme Court ruling that says a 1864 abortion ban, near total abortion ban, this is basically a complete ban, is still enforceable to this day, and it is kind of put back in place because it hasn't been enforced in recent history. But with, Roe being overturned, with all this new abortion legislation, this was brought back into the spotlight, and the Supreme Court has ruled that it is, in fact, enforceable to this day in the state of Arizona. So, this is a huge blow, obviously, to many abortion rights activists, many pro-choice activists or advocates or whatever. But looking at it in an election stance, looking at it politically, this could be. I don't want to say it is. I don't want to say that confidently right now, but I do think that this could be a major win for Democrats on the November ballot, because according to the governor, Katie Hobbs, this ruling is on hold as of now for 14 days, and it is likely this ruling will most likely appear on the November ballot. This will, with the Attorney General being against this and the governor being against this and everything, it's looking like they will, decide to, whether or not to enforce this decision by putting it on the November ballot so that the voters actually have a chance to decide. And as we know, voters overwhelmingly, in every time abortion is put on the ballot, they overwhelmingly choose to support the pro-choice side. Voters in red states and blue states and purple states choose to keep abortion a constitutional right for women in this country. And if that ballot measure, if that choice, if that, abortion or no abortion choice is being put right on the same ballot as the presidential ballot, as the presidential election, and voters will be filling in that they want abortion to be kept a constitutional right for women, that heavily increases voters' chances of voting Democratic. That is just how it works, because Biden and Harris and the Democrats are sure to make abortion a key part of their campaign. Looking at 2022, just the Senate elections, first of all, in 2022, Democrats really shocked everyone with how they were able to perform in these elections. Nevada, Catherine Cortez Masto somehow hung on by 0.8%. A major focus, the main focus of her campaign was abortion rights for women. Mark Kelly won by 5% in the state of Arizona, a absolutely stunning victory, especially in a state that went to Biden by 0.2, and this was supposed to be a Republican-favored year, so no one was really expecting for Mark Kelly to win Arizona by 5%. He also made abortion a key part of his campaign, as well as John Fetterman. He somehow won by 5% in Pennsylvania, and Raphael Warnock won in a runoff by 2.8%. In New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan won by 9%, despite the Republican Don Bolduc running a very solid race. And then the House elections, it might have been even more apparent. Even though the Democrats lost the House, it was 222 to 213, so much closer than anyone was expecting. I mean, no one really expected the Republicans to win the House by such a narrow margin, 222 to 213, just an 8 seat lead, which we know now with Santos out, with Gallagher retiring, with many others retiring, midway through their term, Ken Buck being another of Colorado. This had shrunk to only a 1-seat lead. So, but the point is, Democrats in 2022 ran on abortion, and they won. So, if Joe Biden can, Biden and Harris are sure to run another campaign on abortion because of how successful it was in 2022. I mean, that was an incredibly successful campaign message, more successful than really anyone expected, predicted beforehand. And even 2 years later, after Dobbs, they think that it will still be effective. But now that's a question, if it will be effective in many states. But in a state where an abortion ballot measure is literally on the ballot right next to the presidential election and the Senate election, the state of Arizona, voters are going to be heavily influenced on how they vote because of this ballot measure. They will be reminded of the fact, that Democrats are going to be, so much more pro-choice than Republicans. That Republicans do tend to favor abortion bans, right, and that they are more on the pro-life side. So that will really greatly benefit Joe Biden. And, even more clearly, just to look at how clear this is, Ohio, a state that voted for Donald Trump by 8% in 2020, they voted by 13% to make abortion a right, a constitutional right for women. California, obviously, they did. But Kansas, a deep red state that voted for Trump by 14.6 in 2020 and 20 in 2016, they voted by an astounding 18, I should say, percentage points to um to make it so that the state could not regulate abortion, which was, in the favor of the pro-choice side, which made it so that women can have abortions in the state. That won by 7 or 18%, more than Donald Trump won the state by in 2020. Kentucky. Now, 14 points is one thing, but 26 percentage points is a whole nother level. That's the amount that Kentucky voted for Donald Trump by. And they voted by a 5% margin to make it so that there is no, wait, what? No right to abortion. Well, wait, what? But okay. This is like wrong or something. But a Kentucky amendment to the state constitution for a right to abortion did happen, and or it did win, I should say, and I will have to look into whatever that is. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ballot measure in Kentucky, the people voted to make abortion a constitutional right. So the point is, it passes in every state. This is a uniting issue, despite how much the media portrays it as such a, issue that is divided along party lines so greatly, that is so, apparent, that displays the split between Democrats and Republicans. In every single ballot measure, it wins. And it is, whatever, a issue that people actually really agree on more than we think. I mean, a 13, or what did I say? 17-point win in Kansas is really, really, really incredible. So in a state like Arizona, where it was a Biden state, I mean, it was just about 50-50, they voted for Biden by 0.2%, 11,000 votes. Most people are going to be, if in Kansas, the majority of people were in favor of the pro-choice side, then Arizona definitely will be a state where uh, the pro-choice side will win. That is for certain. But this could really affect the presidential election, as I was talking about before. With it being held right next to the November ballot between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Now, it is not certain yet if this will go to a ballot measure. That is not certain. But even if not, even if it doesn't, Joe Biden can use this abortion message, very greatly, heavily, really push that message in the state of Arizona if they do get this near total abortion ban, because that topic will be very relevant to Arizona voters. And before I go, I do just want to stress how important the state of Arizona is. Looking at the 2024 election map, we really have just about 6 states that we really don't know how they're going to go. I mean, the rest we have a vote for the other party, but 6 are pretty uncertain. Now, I think it's safe to say that North Carolina stays with Donald Trump, considering that it voted for him in 2020 by a point. I also think it is, you know, pretty certain, especially with RFK Jr. in the ballot now. Biden won Georgia by 0.2. He is losing massive numbers of African American voters. I really think that Georgia flips back to Trump. I also think with all of these demographic trends, I mean, Latinos are trending towards the Republican Party in really historic numbers, nothing like we have ever seen before, and the Democratic Party's, weakening influence in the state of Nevada. I would also think that Nevada flips to the Republican Party. And looking at the blue wall, I currently think, considering that Biden won it by just 0.6% in 2020, I think that Wisconsin flips back to Trump. But, with Michigan, he won by 2.8. Pennsylvania won by 2. Not healthy margins, but not bad margins. I would say, especially in Michigan, just because that 2.8% margin, I think that Biden is favored. And I would also say that Biden will also win the state of Pennsylvania, just because of its growing suburban influence, and Biden has been focusing on the state really a lot. He is pouring tens of millions of dollars of ads into the state. And again, in the suburbs, which control Pennsylvania elections, I definitely think that Biden can run a very strong campaign here. Where African American voters or Latino voters in Nevada or Arizona, or African American voters in North Carolina or Georgia, I would not be confident that Biden can run a strong campaign to turn out those voters, those minority voters. But in Pennsylvania, with the suburbs, Joe Biden, that is where he can gain voters, is in the suburbs. He can run a very strong campaign amongst them. So then it all comes down to Arizona. It's 260 to 267. And if this ballot measure and if this abortion this abortion decision is on the ballot, Biden is probably favored. I currently, before this whole Supreme Court decision in Arizona, I was so unsure on how Arizona would go. Before I had Donald Trump winning by less than a percentage point, probably 0.5% or something really small like that. But if this were to be put on the ballot, I would definitely say that Biden is favored, considering that he won it in 2020. And that means that Biden wins the presidency. The narrative is shifting a lot, and Arizona just adds to this. Donald Trump has really been favored in this presidential election for quite a while now, for quite a few months, right? He has been favored. At one time I had him winning Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, all 6. But I now think that with the turning of tides and polls, I think that Biden wins, as I said, Michigan and Pennsylvania. And if he can win Arizona with this abortion ballot measure, that would be huge, because that means that he is favored, according to me, in my own opinion. that he is actually favored to win. So this will be very interesting to see how it shapes up. But I will keep you all updated. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you all go ahead and subscribe. That would help out a lot. Leave a comment if you enjoyed, or whatever, if you don't enjoy. I have a lot of those too. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.